Well, Madlala's cross-examination enters its fourth day today, and just yesterday, the media were kicked out of court this after showing his face. But back in September, Judge Maumela issued journalists with a warning for harassing Madlala in court, and broadcasters are now set to meet with the judge before proceedings get underway. eNCA Silindelo Masikane has been following the story for us and joins us live now to take the story forward. And Slee, great to have you back. What's the very latest and what's to be expected from court?
Well, of course, we are expecting the cross-examination of Silindelo Madlala to continue in the North Gauteng High Court this morning at around 10 a.m. But of course, like you've said, that there was an issue just after lunch proceedings, where the media was essentially chucked out of the courtroom, and that is because an error had occurred where, unfortunately, the witness, Silindelo Madlala, was caught on camera, resulting in the entire contingent being chucked out of court. That is TV broadcasters, online print, as well as radio journalists. But to unpack this further, as well as what we can expect moving forward, I am joined by legal expert, Mr. Melusi Xulu. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Let's just unpack the reaction, I guess, from the judge in terms of chucking out all journalists and cameras inside the courtroom due to an error from the TV broadcasters in particular, where a pool feed is being provided to all broadcasters from one particular media house. Could you maybe just then unpack for us, Mr. Xulu, your thoughts about how the court and the judge reacted? Is it fair, or what do you make of what transpired in terms of that particular issue?
Okay, firstly, good morning to you and to the viewers at home, and thank you for having me once again. My thoughts on that was that I think, yes, maybe the judge might have overreacted because he didn't really get exactly what happened. As it has been reported, there was a mistake, it wasn't deliberate. But I think he's also leaning on the dignity of the witness. You know, there is case law that says there must be a balance between freedom of expression and the human dignity of the witness. So as much as the media has the freedom, which is good also for the public, so that matters can be reported in courts, also the dignity of the witness is important. But I think what the judge should have done, should have got exactly what happened, which I think has been resolved, and it will be clear before the case starts that there was a mistake, it wasn't deliberate on the part of the media.
Maybe then let's unpack some of the cross-examination we heard yesterday. Advocate Zandile Mshololo really grilling Silindelo Madlala in terms of his character, the credibility of his testimony, and some inconsistencies between statements he made and his testimony in court. In particular, she's questioned the sobriety of those who were in the house, as well as how accurate their account is of what happened. What do you make of the line of questioning so far, as well as Madlala's responses? The defense has on many occasions labeled him as evasive.
Yes. Look, the test in criminal law will always be that the state has to prove its case beyond reasonable doubt. And once there are doubts that are casted on the state's case, it leads to the judge might having to find that the defense, or the state rather, has not proven its case beyond reasonable doubt. I mean, we have issues like we can see that the scene was tampered with because, I mean, it was stated that there were 2 cans that were found. So it's clear that allegedly there's a lady that came and claimed. And so it's not clear exactly whether, if he says he drank 4 cans, it might be more. You know, so there's those issues of credibility. And in terms of his sobriety, it's going to be an interesting argument when it comes to the close of the case for the state and the defense when they argue, because even the judge said there might be a need for an expert to really state whether, if the witness drank 4 cans, was his state of sobriety enough for him to see exactly what happened. And what I found very interesting, Lee, was when Advocate Mshololo referred to the part where Long Etwala rushed to the guy who was holding a gun. And, even the witness said, hey, it's unbelievable, but it happened. So even the witness doesn't believe what happened. So it really casts doubts on what happened. And just before maybe we move on to the next question, we are told that there was an ID parade that was held just after the deceased passed away, Senzo Meyiwa. But the guy who was pointed out in the ID parade, remember Mr. Mbats, he was let go because there was no proof. But for these 5 accused, I'm still to hear whether there was an ID parade and why was it not held. And when the other witnesses who pointed out to Mbata come again, what will they say? It will be very interesting to see those, loopholes that I'm seeing right now.
Do you foresee the state having to call somebody else from the house who was present to collaborate Madlala's story?
They have to, because those are the witnesses that they have. Unfortunately, there's still an outstanding docket 375 that might even incriminate the very same witnesses that have to come in to testify, which will be a very interesting situation to observe. Because, another thing that I think should be really questioned is if 2 intruders come in, they want to get valuables like your cell phones or maybe money. Why would they leave out an X6, a BMW's X6, brand new, out the door? Why would they not request for that car? Then it goes back to what Advocate Cholo was trying to say, that is it really true that there were intruders in the house? And remember, this case is interesting because there's even a Netflix documentary on this, and if you watch it, probably you are the one who will be asking questions as a defense lawyer or advocate. You'll probably also go back to the part where they say one of the witnesses, I think it's Madlala, he called one of the siblings of the deceased and said, meaning Senzo was shot by mistake. So can an intruder shoot someone by mistake? Because when an intruder comes in, they definitely have an intention of killing, because if you resist, they'll kill you. So if he was saying, it means it was someone that was in the house. So I think it will be interesting that these other witnesses must come in, and then we must get to the bottom of the truth and really see if this really happened, or if it can be proven beyond reasonable doubts, or if there were no intruders at all.